See, that's about 2-3 times.
What's up, Goat Mouth? What's up, baby? God, you're old, man. Did you own it? Welcome to the club. I was like, man. Welcome to the club.
We're gonna pull it up on you like he ain't even know. Look, 506 on the contract.
Okay,
Ace Club.
that's what's up. I was like, what's happening? This is the Tap In Podcast. We are live, baby, right here at the Paladine Cigar Bar and Lounge. I got my bros in here celebrating my motherfucking 40th birthday. What's happening, fellas? What's up?
Yeah, animal.
Yeah. God. So let me give the audience a little background. So today's podcast was supposed to be on a whole different subject. It was supposed to be on something else. My wife planned all this. As soon as I walked in, all my bros was here. And I was like, what the hell y'all doing? They was like, nigga, happy birthday. I was like, oh, shit. Okay, what's happening? What's up, Walt? What's happening, man?
I'm back, bitch.
Well,
I'm back.
Welcome back, baby.
I'm in this whole
Welcome
movie.
back.
It's been a long time, but I'm here, baby.
Yeah, we got Jay Mark in the building. What's up, baby?
What's good, man? 52K5, Trey Club, Zeta, Beta, little nasty Juddy in a mix.
We got Hosea in this bitch. What's up, Zay?
What's good? What's up, y'all? Zeta Beta 599 Ace Club. Rock with me.
Yeah. And we got the number one stunner, the motherfucking, what number was you, Reg?
Motherfucking 17.
17 in this bitch.
Reggie is up in this piece, baby. Zeta Beta Fall 99, public enemy number motherfucking 1.
Goddamn right. What's that? ZB in this bitch.
Hey, man.
We in here,
Spring
man.
98. I'm the oldest motherfucker in here. Pimp motherfucking tight. Ace Club.
Oh, shit. Yo, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. This is dope, man. You know what I'm saying? I told my wife this is exactly what I wanted to do, and she set all this shit up. So shout out to her, man. Shout out to
the
her.
wife, man.
Yes, sir. So what's been happening, man? What y'all want to talk about, man? What's going on? Y'all want to talk about this little Boosie shit? Do y'all want to talk about this shit?
You know what? I don't know if I want to give too much attention to it, right? It's been a lot of attention. A lot of people capitalize off of it, but to keep it real, Lil Boosie don't get no pass. Absolutely. You don't get no pass for that shit. He know what he was doing. He got a brother. That's a bruh. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was all a publicity stunt. So now he want to give back and want to do all this. But, hey, look at here. Just think about this. We on the yard. Let's take us back.
Right.
We at PV, right? And Lil Boosie ain't Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie just a regular cat on the yard with a K-side shirt.
I don't see that happen.
Right, yeah, it ain't gonna happen too much, right? But I mean, I think the thing is, man, the cat was, he knew what he was doing. He was courtside, and I was like, man, he capitalized off this, you know what I mean? So he figured, I guess he thought he was gonna get some love. But here's the thing: you can't say he didn't know. A lot of people say it's ignorant. You got a brother that's a bro, you know what I mean? So you knew what you was doing, you know what I mean? So I think he do have his little concert coming up, you know what I mean? So I feel like, there was, that's what cats do. When they got something coming out, there's some kind of news or some kind of blog, they get to go in and get some attention on them, you know what I mean? So
I feel like he knew. I just don't feel like he knew to the extent.
Right, he didn't probably know. He might have known that, but I think, at this point, I think his brother probably had to check him like, bro,
Right.
what are you doing?
Right. I like I said, I don't think he knew how serious it was for us, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that he knows that he wasn't supposed to be wearing a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but here's the thing, though. Man, we got a lot of gangsters that used to be gangsters and everything else. So you got a lot of cats that, put a lot of blood, sweat,
but that's
and
Zeta
tears.
Beta, man. You
Can't
speak on these other chapters.
Yeah, you're right. Now you're right about that. But You got a lot of cats that sacrifice, put a lot of work in, man. That it just ain't cool. I feel like he was making a mockery of it. You know what I mean? So then he was throwing the Q sign up and all this. So he was making a mockery of it. But it's real. He figured out he found out it's real. You know what I mean? So
you can't really give his brother no pass either though, because he, what I'm saying. He was teaching the nigga how to throw balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you don't
That
do
was
that.
corny.
Yeah.
It was corny, but I mean, at the same time, like, bro, you don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you pledge for that shit. I mean, I understand it's your brother.
No, that's the key word, pledge. Motherfucker ain't pledge, you do. Hey, ain't nobody pledge. You know how it is, man. Ain't nobody nobody touching. The key word is pledge. Most cats that pledge ain't allowing that shit. If you my brother, man, hey, he wouldn't even done that shit first of all. Right, I ain't teach you how to do that shit. Like, again, making a mockery of it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I slapped my own motherfucking cousin. My own cousin in the mall, in public.
For doing the shimmy.
For throwing the yo.
But here's the thing, though. Boosie is probably the breadwinner in his motherfucking family, right? So his brother he probably on his brother payroll. So he probably gonna let that nigga do whatever the fuck he want to. You know what I'm saying? He probably gonna let his brother probably gonna be like, yo, man, you gotta chill out. You know what I'm saying? But
This is my thing on that. That's a whole separate issue. He could be on the payroll or whatever. Bottom line, everybody knows in the African American community that the black fraternity and sororities is that's a prestigious thing. You know what I mean? And it's not to be messed with. No matter whether it's K side, and all the other organizations. You know what I mean? So bottom line, he just crossed the line. But the good thing about it is it has been handled, and I think he sees the importance of it now and to see the error in his mistake.
Now I'm gonna throw a wrench at this mug. But the other problem I got is this cat that's an alpha with a KSI shirt doing the little Boosie, the little song. Y'all seen that?
Was he an alpha?
He an alpha.
Now he need his ass whooped. See, Boosie gonna get all y'all ass whooped.
Right, here's the thing. He know better, and he made a song, which it was corny as fuck. He up there making that song talking about Boosie now. He an alpha, and he got like, what makes you put on a KSI shirt? Ain't no way I'm putting on an A5.
Should have whooped his ass.
So should have for putting on a KSI shirt.
That's See, I didn't know that nigga was an alpha.
He's an alpha. Even if he wasn't an alpha, he should know better. But again, that's why the cats feel like they can get a pass for putting it on. Lil Boosie did it, even though I'm making a joke out of it, motherfucker. When you get a KSI, you had to go purchase a KSI shirt.
Boosie gonna get niggas ass.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have put on a red shirt and did the whole thing and had this little joke, but he wanted to put on a KSI shirt. And he an alpha.
Niggas don't fear no more. I see. Huh?
I see. It's different.
Had to put
It's
some fear
different.
back a nigga hard.
Exactly why I don't show up to shit. I don't show up to no fucking sets, none of that shit.
Exactly. I don't want nobody. But you know what? Cass will try to use you. And hey, man, you saw man. Don't try to use me for Zeta Beta talking about I saw your homeboy. Hey, don't try to get out. Don't try to get that ZB cred.
Hey man, we still get a lot of respect everywhere we go, man. Founders Day, man, I was drunk, acting a goddamn fool. Donte had 2 minutes of rocks. I'm out there, man, at the club, nigga. I done.
But this is what I realized, though.
Hey, the real animal came out.
Listen, Donte, I done jumped. See, so every year, man, when we go out for Founders Day, it's this one nigga that be jumping on the microphone, right? The nigga goes on for like 45 minutes doing these old ass chants that don't nobody know. I wasn't going for that shit this year, man. I done grabbed the mic, took the mic, nigga, done animal, noop, yo, all over this bitch. And basically dared the niggas to not say a motherfucking word while I was there, you know? and when I sobered up the next day, I realized, nigga, I was wrong because it was they part. I said, nigga, we would have been fighting everybody in that bitch if a nigga got on our microphone and took over. Bruh, did nobody, nigga, but I didn't even realize it, man, until the next day when I woke up and I was like, damn, I was tripping. I was tripping, dog. I know, but still, I was like, dog, this was they party. That's why that nigga was on the microphone.
See, and that's when I realized ZB is different from other chapters. You know what I'm saying? The shit that we get away with or we do, other niggas ain't doing. You know what I mean? Other chapters ain't doing. And it's a totally different breed because people, after that Boosie shit, what happened? People was like, Donte, let me see you shimmy. I'm like, nigga, I ain't never shimmied in my life. Like I ain't never did this shit. And I'm like, I don't even know how to even do it. My shoulders don't even move like that.
It's very feminine.
It's bad as a motherfucker. Knees bad, nigga. Even if I wanted to do it, I ain't trying to do it, bro.
Rub your knees.
That actually do it though. Like, is there any chapters in Texas that actually do it?
Yes, nigga. Yes.
Bait up, do it.
I don't know. I ain't gonna say that because I ain't.
Okay. I'm sorry. But they kind of tried it. They got like some little straws. They teeter it exactly or whatever. They teeter that shit. And I just be like, nah, bro. As soon as you move your shoulders, I'll be like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? The hands on the knees
new age.
and all that shit, bro.
I even hate the woo. I even hate that shit, my nigga. I hate that
I was
shit.
in Memphis, man, and I had just crossed, right? And I had my line jacket. I was a super neo. I had my line jacket with the Memphis. You know, that's my hometown, right? So I go, and these cats saying woo. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's different everywhere you go. I'm like, they woo. They try to charge me up. Look, man, dude try to say, man, I ain't answering no charge. I'm new. These old cats, and I ain't give a damn. I say I ain't answering no charge, and I shot them a charge back, right? And they ain't know it. I said, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So motherfucker didn't even know it. Like, you answer this, nigga, then I answer that. How about that? Motherfucker didn't answer the motherfucker. So here I am in the club. I'm with my cousin, right? At this party, and they wooing. I'm like, what the hell is this? They wooing like some girls.
I don't understand it, bro. I hate that shit. Woo. Bitch, you a siren?
No lie, I would have never pledged Kappa if I had to do that shit. Cause my shoulders don't work, like my knees, all that shit. I wouldn't have pledged Kappa ever if I had to do all of that shit. I promise to God.
My nephew was like, we're going to PV next year. I told him, man, the players, what he said, man, do you have to rub my knee? I ain't doing all that. He said, do I do all this shoulder? I said, nah, man.
Nah, bro. Nah.
But the one thing that I do, the good that I could take out of it is it did get national attention for KSI, right? That's probably
We didn't need that attention.
Yeah, but if you want to take it out of the situation, the good that came out of it is KSI got national attention.
We always got national attention.
Yeah, but the motherfuckers who probably never went to college, they probably didn't know shit about it, right? You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers who probably never went to college, niggas that's just on the street doing regular shit, they probably ain't even know what the hell KSI was. You know what I'm saying? So now they know. You know what I mean? Now them motherfuckers know. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a brand named Kappa. There's a brand.
And I think to your point, Donte, I think people got a chance to see from a more global perspective on how serious it is, on what not to do. You know what I mean? As it relates to perpetrating. You know what I mean? And it happens, but this is like one of the first time where it kind of just got like national attention.
Right.
Like, of what not to do. So that was a good thing.
Yeah. So fuck Boosie. I mean, not fuck Boosie, but fuck that.
I still like Boosie, man. Boosie badass nigga be
Yeah.
Just don't do that. Just don't do that.
Just don't do that shit, Boosie.
Don't do that again.
Just put on a red shirt, nigga, and
there you go.
Yeah, go to the game. Buy a Hawk shirt, nigga.
Yeah, right. Support the Hawks.
Damn.
Shit, man. I'm waiting for this game tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm excited about.
Fuck the
motherfucking 49ers finna come whoop the ass tomorrow. That's what I'm ready for, man.
I can dig it.
That's what I'm ready for. You know what I mean? I'm ready to see us back in that bowl. You know what I mean? Bring back them Kaepernick days. You know what I'm saying? Them Kaepernick days. We was killing shit.
Them days are gone, brother. Them days are gone.
The NFL has moved on from Kaepernick.
Has moved on from Kaepernick. They are not letting that nigga back in.
So, have all y'all seen the Aaron Hernandez documentary?
Man, yes, I seen it.
You seen it?
I saw it.
What do you think about it, Walt?
I just feel like that nigga mama was tripping.
Yeah.
I feel like she was really just out for him about his money, and she really kind of messed him up mentally by going to fuck with his cousin's husband and moving him in. And she said, you're making $40 million, just give me one and we're set for life. If you got to ask your son for money,
right,
that means you ain't doing something right as a mother.
You know what? You know what my take was? I think he was really undercover gay, right? And everybody who he felt like that they could try him, that's what this nigga was starting to kill him. because ever since he was never able to come out as gay while his father was alive, so ever since his father died, like this nigga really had to keep up that manhood image, but this nigga was really undercover gay. Like he was really, cause even when you was listening to him talk about the other gay niggas in the prison,
Right, he was still
trying to hide it and be like, why are you talking to them? Like why you so mad that everybody else talking to the gay niggas? Like
what he call
what
them?
they got
What he call them? Them or what he call them?
Yeah, he was like, why they talking to them? They like, I don't remember exactly, but I'm like, this nigga was really undercover gay. That's why he was
fucking his quarterback in high school.
Right. And I think anybody who ever had an inkling that he may have been gay is the niggas that he went after. You know what I'm saying?
The nigga was just fucking stupid, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, the shit that he was doing out in the open, it was just really, really, like, beyond anything I could think of. You know what I'm saying? For a nigga to spill a drink on you, and you roll up on a nigga at a light, and kill two niggas at a stoplight because they spilled the drink on you, and then shoot the nigga that in the head that was in the car with you later on.
Yeah, Yeah.
He did all of that shit.
Right, but he got off on that one because old boy wasn't credible.
Yeah.
You know, and he was kind of it made it seem like he was just trying to set him up, but he killed them niggas.
But that's what I think that's why I think that it was the gay shit was he was doing. You know how when you just do too much to trying to prove that like you really a man or you really hard. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
Overcompensating for.
But you
you know what I'm saying?
But you don't kill nobody.
If you want to go. Yeah, if you want to go to the extreme, so even if somebody even bring up a question about you being gay, anybody bring even a question that you gay.
You don't kill nobody. I can understand you going outside shooting your gun in the air, but nigga to walk in and point your gun and not only kill, nigga kill multiple people, and then went on Sunday and played football. That's
the crazy part. That's that CTE shit.
Yeah, right. He was cold.
That's that CTE shit though. That's when he can.
Did you see the graphic of his brain and shit? That shit look bad.
Yeah, like big ass hole in the middle.
But I don't want to blame that shit on CTE, but it might have played a role in it. But that nigga was just really like, he was really, really unbalanced, dog.
A lot of times when you deal with a lot of shit and don't know how to express it and you holding it in, like you got this dad that's, hey, I got to obtain this man mentality. Nobody can see I'm gay. I'm a football player. I play for the Patriots. You got to uphold all this shit. You know what I mean? So it be rough. All that money. Hey, like Diddy said, man, money, more money, more problems. You know what I mean? So you got to uphold this image that you got. You've been giving all this money and you ain't never had none of that, and you got all these. Now all of us got family issues. Period. Everybody got some kind of issues with families, but when you get money, man, that shit escalate. You know what I mean? So,
I really do think outside of the gay shit, I think his dad dying really played a big part in a lot of the stuff that happened to him, because his dad was a big major role and influence in his life.
Yeah.
And I think him dying really, really struck a chord in him and just left an impression on him, like, and then his mama went and fucked his cousin's husband right after that and moved him in. Like, that'll make any nigga in high school, like,
be like tripping,
nigga, that'll put you in a rage.
I agree.
Man, right, it's your right. Uncle Daddy.
That nigga said Uncle Daddy.
Your Uncle Daddy. I think that's really what it was. I think that's where all of it stemmed from. Is he was living a double life because he didn't want nobody ever even question if he was gay or if he nobody. He didn't want to even, because anytime anybody would even question it, because if you notice at the end of the documentary where it said 2 days after it came out because he was like, I just can't live with even people even knowing that shit.
Right. And he killed himself 2 days later. And
2 days later.
They was wrong for that. They should the people who outed him on the radio and was making jokes about that on the radio, like in today's world, in this cancel culture, they ass would have got fired.
Oh
In today's world, because technically they were really, really wrong for going out and saying and talking and joking about this man's sexuality live on the radio.
Yeah.
Which led to him killing himself.
If you think about it, just what he was trying to avoid. What did everybody do? Man, they tripping. This dude ain't gay.
Right.
This fool right here, gangster. How gangster he looking up there, the impression that he has. So these be the things that, people are hiding. You got this undercover stuff. So, I mean, that's the first thing I thought. Like, man, they reaching now. Now they trying to say this cat gay and all this shit. But
even his brother said he was gay, though. Or his brother said that he was molested or had some type of encounter with an older male when they were at the house or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a sad story all the way around. I still can't, like, in my mind, I still can't believe that you would be playing in the NFL and go kill multiple people, not just shoot, But
you know what? The thing about it, Walt, you got all that money, man. You feel like you're above everything. You
I'm not killing nobody. I mean, if I got away with one murder, Reggie, I'm not going to go and kill 3-4 more people. I know,
but I'm saying you just never know. Look at his life and his mentality. You know what I mean? So it's just, I mean, he had that, and so. I mean, he was damn near untouchable for a minute. Yeah. So he was untouchable for a while. So you think about it like, well, shit, I done got through this, I done got through that, and I got this contract and making this money. Shit.
What messed up? He should have shot the other dude multiple times.
Say, look at there you go.
No, I'm saying because, but listen, no.
Like, hey, you just sit there and told us like, look, I can't see how he murdered somebody.
No,
how can he sit there and murder somebody?
What I'm saying though,
what he should have did to clean the job up, he should have shot him multiple times. And he got gangster real quick.
Donte,
hey, you see how gangster he got?
Donte, I'm saying that led to his downfall though.
I really can't see how he could really do that, but he should have. Hey, on the cool, he should have shot to kill that motherfucker about 8 times, and he's been good.
But listen, that was his downfall though. That dude surviving is what led to them connecting him to all the other murders. He lived to tell the story of him shooting him and connecting all the other dots of the murders that he committed in Boston, right? And why they gonna keep the forerunner?
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand. But it was like. It was a chance that he was gonna take if he would have took it out of the garage and got rid of it.
Why keep the forerunner, bro? That was years ago. That forerunner ain't been driven. Why is it still sitting in the?
I'm untouchable. Why I gotta get rid of my shit?
Yo, park the forerunner and nobody move it. Right. Park the forerunner. Don't bring it out the garage.
That's
nobody move it.
But this is like they need to make a movie out of this because how in the hell was the sisters? The sisters. I mean, you kill your baby mama's. You kill your fiance's sister's boyfriend.
Yeah,
that is a script, nigga.
Yeah,
that's a Hollywood script.
They gonna make a movie. They gonna make a movie and Rock gonna play him. Rock Johnson.
That nigga play everybody. Goddamn. That nigga there making so much goddamn money.
Who was Rock Johnson?
Nigga, The Rock, nigga.
Oh, The Rock?
Yeah.
The Rock gonna play the daddy. He's not gonna play. Yeah, he can't play Aaron Hernandez.
Shit.
He can't play Aaron Hernandez. Hell, yeah, nah.
That nigga was nervous as hell when Robert Kraft walked in.
Oh, nigga, you seen he kept looking back? He was nervous as shit.
Embarrassed in anything. Like he was embarrassed or whatever.
Because he invested in him.
He invested in him and he looked up to Robert Kraft. So that was when he walked in, he was like, "Fuck, like,
damn,
this shit is kind of real."
He know he lied to Robert Kraft.
Yeah.
Robert Kraft, excuse my
and he
gangster.
was embarrassed.
I'm sorry. I mean, you paid me to excuse my gangster.
And Robert Kraft didn't look at him at all. He just walked straight to the podium or whatever, said what he had to say, and he walked straight out. And then Aaron Rodgers looked back like 5 or 6 times. I'm sorry. Aaron Hernandez looked back 5 or 6 times because he was just like he was embarrassed.
He was like, "Damn."
Yeah.
It's like your mama coming in the principal office, like.
Because he thought, he was thinking he was gonna get off the shit.
Right.
He was gonna get off of it.
Right.
And once he walked in, he was like,
They killed the nigga. They went back with the niggas that killed the nigga, and they was holding his baby, playing in the game room, like nothing ever happened.
Listen, if you can go out and play 4 quarters of football,
You right. You right.
Picking up my baby and at the house chilling ain't shit.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't shit.
I mean, just think about it. Think about the players that played with him. Like, damn, we was in this business with a killer. Man. And he had a whole different. It was probably different in the locker room with everybody else. You know what I mean? So, everybody else thought he was a whole different cat, but outside of that, he was a whole different man. Like, that's crazy. Hey, you know what? It ain't my show, but let's talk about some recent shit. I know this your show, man. Let's talk about
about
this
it, Reggie.
Antonio Brown cat, man.
This nigga, he got CTE.
Right? Hey,
Shit.
Hey,
Something wrong with him.
no. You know what?
It's gonna be a Netflix documentary about him.
But
He
you know
gonna
what?
kill somebody out there in the Porky Beans Project.
You know what? I don't really think he got CTE.
Bruh.
I think the cat just got too much money and he think motherfuckers can't fuck with him, bro.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no.
So
Something wrong with him,
But this last thing, he was.
You don't fuck over that much money.
That's true. I mean, to be disrespectful in front of your kid. I mean, here's the thing: if you don't respect your baby mama, that's fine. But don't do that shit in front of your
That
kids.
shit was wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Like if you ain't gonna respect if you're not gonna respect,
And then he was
her,
live with this shit like
respect
it's
the kid
cool.
and threw a bag of dicks,
Right,
gummy
right.
dicks. Nigga, you premeditated this
Right, yeah,
thought
he did.
in
Yeah,
your
he
mind.
did.
You had a pack of gummy dicks in your pocket, and you threw gummy dicks and said, "Suck a gummy dick."
Threw him a bag of goat
Come
dicks.
on, John. No, that was that was some disrespectful. You know what, man? This is one thing I cannot stand for people to curse in front of their kids.
Absolutely.
Like, and for you to just talk about the mother of your kid, and not only that, bitch, you done laid down and got 3 kids.
Right.
By this woman, so it wasn't a mistake, nigga.
Right.
So now she's a hoe, she's all this, and she's all that.
And your kids right there. I mean, your kids gonna grow up thinking like, man, yeah, my dad had money, but he was a damn fool. You know what I mean? So that's
too disrespectful.
That's
for me.
Scorn's kid.
I unfollowed that nigga
Scorner's
after
kid.
that.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to see no.
How old is his kids? Anybody know?
His kids are. His kids are like
They little, right?
I mean, they little.
young.
They're in school. They're probably like
6,
7.
6, 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, enough to know what's going on.
Right.
A 6-year-old and shit.
And he got older kids that are not by her. He has other kids too.
Didn't he post like a while ago? No white women in 2020 or some shit.
No
like
white
that?
women, and then when they got another non-black woman. Just
So
saying.
that's how you know he's on a downward spiral because videos are everything.
Right.
So when they show this shit in court,
Right.
or whatever, like, and you already
already
losing endorsements or whatever. You losing all of that shit. So when a judge see all of these videos and shit that you posting, that baby mama gonna get all that
All
money.
that shit, yep.
She gonna get the kids. She gonna get the custody.
Right.
She gonna get all of that shit.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
He don't know, man. He don't even know.
Somebody missing. Somebody missing.
Did anybody even pay attention to Amber Alerts anymore?
I do. I don't know. I don't know what I can do about them, but I listen to them. I look at the name and everything. But listen. Hold on. I want to say this, man. I just don't like. You know, it's bad when Drew Rosenhaus drop you.
And he take everybody. Drew Rosenhaus take everybody.
He's like, I can't take no more with this nigga.
He take everybody. Yeah.
You tarnishing his brand, like really? Cats looking at him like, you really still represent this cat?
He already know he's not getting another contract that's worth
he
him
done.
taking.
Stick a fork in him.
Like that was it. Drew saw that,
But
and
check
like
this
you
out.
wanted to put this out in the world.
Right,
You
right.
put this on live.
Yeah, right. He's snitching on. That's the thing with social media. Cats be around here, and that's why all these so-called gangsters I don't get. Y'all snitching on yourself. Like you making the police job easy. You know what I mean? So y'all posting shit. I never forget the dudes that killed XXX and Toshion or whatever the cat name is. Right. So check this out. You know how they found the cat, man? This fool had the same shit on he had on social media. So they went on and found him with the same shoe, the same, what he was out there, robbed him with or whatever, on his social media page.
Niggas
like,
are dumb.
man, like social media is where you go to find and see where cats at, where people at. I mean, it's crazy.
They created a whole division behind it. You know what I mean? They done created a whole division within the police departments just
for social media?
Just for social media, yeah.
Like the hip hop cops or some shit.
Well, it's basically like if a crime happens, first thing they go do, hey, check social media. They got some departments have they have a person that does social media research. Find out, are they posting anything? Did they post this? Did they post that? But I have one question for you, Walt. As it relates to Antonio Brown, is it safe to say, can we compare Antonio Brown to Terrell Owens, to his situation?
Oh no.
No, that's
hell no.
hell no. T.O. did not ever do anything remotely close to what AB is doing.
Right. Yeah.
T.O. shit was football related.
Yeah, he was never disrespectful. Like
His shit was football related. He never did anything that wasn't football related. This nigga AB.
It was all, all on the field. Yeah, it was all football related. You know what I mean? So, I mean, even with the Hall of Fame or whatever, I mean, he wanted a position how he wanted to do it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, a lot of people don't agree with it and feel like, hey, but again, he did everything. It was, it was about the NFL. He was already in, so he wanted to do it how he wanted to do it. You know what I mean?
This nigga AB will apologize to Robert Kraft and all of this other shit on one post, and then come back and say fuck the Patriots, fuck the NFL,
but
fuck
check this
Roger
out.
Goodell.
To the whole point, even when the Saints tried to invite him in, they gave him rules.
Right.
Like, look, don't bring a whole entourage. And
brought a camera crew.
There you go. He brought everything, and so again, he making himself. He'll probably look back years from now and be like, boy, you was a damn.
How much money did he fuck off of? How much did he have when he had with the Raiders? With the Raiders.
60 million, something like that, yeah, and it's like 30.
He's
30
never getting
guaranteed.
that again. Matter of fact, I hope he never.
But you know what? I was just we was looking over his whole NFL career. He's accumulated about 80 million, like all the seasons he's had.
He ain't got all that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But a lot of times you feel like you're above everything else. You know what I mean? So it's crazy the mentality that
I understand him having a chip on his back. Coming up. What did he Central?
He from Florida,
Central
Whatever.
I know
we was talking about it. Battles, like, man, that side of inner city,
Liberty City, wherever he from. I mean, I
from.
get the chip on your back, bro, but the way that you reacted over this last year just doesn't equate to anybody who wants a job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nobody don't want any dealings with him.
Bro, I don't even want to follow you no more. So I know nobody wants you on their team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that bad.
But you know what? I blame it on the people around him, and to some extent. You know what I mean?
But it can't nobody control him, dog.
That's true. No. Here's the thing. I know we've always said there's always people around us that we'll listen to above anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So if everybody around here, if I'm getting upset and mad, it's certain people that you're gonna stop and listen to. Be like, look, man, chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Does he have that, or everybody's a yes man?
Bruh,
so at some point,
there's always people who's gonna do what the hell they want to do. How many times we told T-Sport to chill the fuck out?
But you're true. But you know what? But guess who he'll listen to though? If you there, guess who will listen to?
He will listen to me.
That's a prime example.
He will listen to me.
So that's a prime example. There's always somebody that you know what, that'll get yourself in line. You're like, look, all right, man, you tripping. You need to chill out. You
That's
know what?
true.
So there's always somebody like that. So whoever that one person is, or ain't around no more, ain't no telling. He might have burned some bridges, but the people around you, bro. I mean,
that's because he paying them all.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But see, it has to be deeper than that. It's had to be. It's always some family member. I don't give a fuck what you got. I done seen you grow up, nigga. You chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So whether he listening to that or don't have that,
He called his grandma and said, "Grandma, I'm free."
And I say that to say this, Podcast Nation. That's why it's very important to have a father or a mother in your life that's positive. You know what I'm saying? Like teach you the ropes or whatever. AB ain't got that. Like he mentioned. The first person he praised was his grandmother. I'm pretty sure the grandmother was a little older and she didn't understand.
Right, at this point, she don't get it. Yeah.
She don't understand and get social media or whatever, but that's why it's important. We're all fathers. Take that time with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like take that step. That shit is important. I got a 4-year-old. That is important.
Yeah.
Like Walt said, I don't cuss around her. I don't do that. But literally, father figures, mother figures are so fucking important. I'm 34 and I'm growing up real quick.
I don't see how all of AB. I don't see how men act like that towards their kids. I don't see how you're not there for your kids. I don't see how women keep men from their kids. Like, that shit baffles me. When you have a child, you understand how much a child needs both parents in their lives.
Because the women didn't grow up with their fathers.
Right. So it's a cycle.
Yeah.
If you don't understand the importance of your daddy being there, you like, shit, I made it. I'm good. Yeah. You were like, my daughters ain't gonna need, or my son ain't gonna need his daddy. I got him. You know what I'm saying? It's a cycle. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience.
I know it. And you know what I'm saying? I know it, and I understand it, but I don't know. It just baffles me when I see women keeping their kids from the fathers And I also see fathers not wanting to be there for the kids.
It depends on actually on the individual, because my daddy wasn't around. So that's why I know it's important. Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I know it. Yeah, that's why
I don't even want to talk about daddy issues, man. My daddy died a few months ago, and I don't want to cry on camera on the podcast, man. This should be touchy for me, man. Reggie already know.
You know what? But at the end of the day, man, you know, you kind of know what not to do. There's a lot of things, you know, kids, we see how important it is because we know how we grew up, right? You know, everybody, you know, nobody's perfect. You know, we can pick, you know, wives and girlfriends, but you can't pick family. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, everybody has issues, but, you know, being grown and kind of in the position everybody's in now, you know what not to do. You know what I mean? Even if you ain't had that father figure or had that, you know, man around, but when you have a kid, that changes everything. You know what I mean? So you want to have that kid to grow up, you know, differently from what you grew up, and you want to make sure that you're there. And so I think a lot of times, I don't know, I mean, it could, you know, a lot that's involved in that, you know, whether, you know, women having control. But it just boils down to this: be careful who you have kids with. You know what I mean? So be careful. But you know, a lot of times that changes a lot too. You know what I mean? So you think there's one person this, you come find out it's a whole different person. You know, when the situation may change. You know what I mean? So I mean that's, but that's still no excuse to, you know, hold anybody kids from seeing each other, etc.
But here's the thing: let's keep it real. The women who we want to smash, they probably ain't got all of it up here, but they be the finest motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep it real. The ones who we really want to smash ain't the ones
who dumb as a box of rocks.
Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
Living day to day, living for the fucking moment.
Yeah.
Having no money, ain't doing shit.
But a lot of times, those are the ones that capitalize off, you know, having babies by good men per se, right? Or whether it was a fling or whatever it is, they capitalize off that shit. Now they got control. You know what I mean? So knowing you're a good man and doing that, knowing that will hurt you not to see your kid, not to be there. You know what I mean? Or take, you know, it's that control factor. Well, I need you to pay child support. I need this. I need that. So now it's more for them. It's a business transaction. You know what I mean? So, you know, you're not looking at it as a kid and their life and their future. And you know, that's what makes it a lot. You know, that's what makes it sad.
So that makes the court system fucked up, right?
Right.
Because I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Luckily, I'm not at the child support moment. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm going that way because I'm tired of dealing with what I'm dealing with or whatever. Right. But I just have a peace of mind to where I know that my reactions could potentially fuck up what I have for my daughter. Because my baby mama, you know, whatever. But if I have a reaction, I do something crazy, my daughter ain't gonna have shit.
Listen, here's what I would tell you.
So I let her talk, cuss me. I don't give a fuck. You just talking. That's fine.
Here's what. If she ever, and this is what I should have known, or I wish somebody would have told me a long time ago. If you ever about to go to court, get a restraining order against the mom. That way, no matter what, you can at least still have custody. You can get 50-50 custody, because if she does it to you, then it's a wrap for you. It's a wrap for you. You're not gonna be able to get custody or nothing. But if you put the restraining order on her, you'll have better luck of getting custody of your girl, at least 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the court move. Get restraining order against this person, and then when you go to court, you be like, well, this person has a restraining order, so their temper or whatever, and they use that against you in court. 'Cause I'm telling you, that's what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me.
I told my wife, I don't give a fuck what happened, what go on. Motherfucker, we better work this shit out, because I'm not waking up
without your son.
Without my son.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck what's going on between us. We better figure it out, because I can't do it.
One thing I don't play about is my kids.
Right.
What's going on? I'm going to see them every day. And I thank God I got the job where I'm flexible, where I'm able to take them to school, pick them up.
Hey man, thank you for putting me on the job too, man.
Sure.
I'm gonna tell you that on the podcast, man. Let the world know, man, that this nigga here, man. See, this brings us back to what Kappa Alpha Psi was made for. I called this nigga Reggie on a Wednesday, and I knew I was about to get laid off from my job, right? And I said, Reggie, man, look, I'm about to get laid off. How do I do this shit that you do? I don't know I didn't know shit about the job Reggie had. I just knew he made paper. That nigga Reggie said, send me your resume and we'll see what we can do. Man, I was headed to Texarkana on a Friday. That nigga Reggie called me and said, you got an interview on Monday. I said, look at God. And then, not only did he say that, he said, we just gonna start the hiring process and then we'll go from there. I said, what? He said, yeah, nigga. Now, it took months, but
Patience.
I was blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama always used to say, what is this fraternity gonna do for you? Man, this fraternity has allowed me to put me in a position to support my family to this day, all because this man here made a call, put in a word for me,
Hey, man.
and got me a job.
That's just what we do, man. That's just what we do. You know
I'm just saying, I just want the world to know it. You know what I'm saying? Because without, I'm so appreciative because this allows me still to this day to put food on my table for my kids and support my family. You know what I'm saying? And I can't thank you enough. From me to you, man. Like, I love you for that, man. Straight up. I know, man. I know. Y'all know I'm emotional right now, man. I told you my dad passed a few months ago, so I'm still on the teary train, man. So if I don't want to cry on camera, it's looking like I'm just saying. But
that's authentic, man.
Yeah, you know, it meant so much to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't really ask too many people for nothing. You know what I mean? So, and for me to pick up the phone and call him and be like, hey, man, look. Boom, boom, boom. I need this. And it wasn't even an interview. Straight up. That's what the bond is for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he really, really laid everything on the line for me and looked out for me. And I really just wanted to tell him, man, I appreciate you, man. I love you for that, man. Like, straight up, man.
That's what's up, man.
His credibility on the line for you.
Yeah, he did. He put it all on the line for me, straight up. And I really just wanted to make him, proud and not regret it. You know what I'm saying? And go in and do what I'm supposed to do, man. And, 4 years later, man, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's you're right. Real talk. Yeah.
2-for-1 special.
Hey, y'all live.
Is
Y'all
your
live.
Check your mic on?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now. Say something, Zay.
1 2 1 2.
Wait, no.
Turn his mic up. Maybe turn Reggie's up too.
Go ahead, Zay.
Turn me up.
Go ahead, Zay.
But yeah, I was going to
Okay,
say one
there
thing
you
about since we're on the subject of father, I can honestly say that being a father is, man, it's very speechless. You know what I mean? Because it's an experience all by itself. A person will never understand the importance of a father until you are a father, if that makes sense. And but you have to be a person that's willing to embrace it. You have to be willing to embrace both the good and the bad of it, because there's gonna be some sacrificial moments. There's gonna be some moments where, hey, you're part of the team. Sometimes you're gonna feel like you're by yourself, but that's called parenting. You know what I mean? And when you're a parent has standards, and whatever those standards are, you have to stick to that. You can't be unwavering, because that's how your child learns, or your children will learn stability. You know what I mean? And they'll learn from that. Okay, my father has made a decision, and so I'm picking up on that, and he or she has stuck to that. So one thing I can say from with my daughter now, she's 17, getting ready to be 18 in July. I mean, ain't getting ready to go off to school. Because I've gone through some personal things. One thing I appreciate about her, and I was telling Reggie about this, is that about my daughter, I was able, to learn from her how she has been able to make a personal decision. She stuck to it, and she's been listening to me, and that's a powerful thing. When you find out when y'all's kids get older, because I know y'all have babies right now, but when they get older, when you find out that, man, my child was actually listening, like they are listening, like for real, like they listening, like that's me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's me. It's a crazy experience, man.
So Donte, how do you feel, man, about to be a new father for the second time? Can I say that on here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
Well, it's too late now.
Congratulations.
Right.
No.
That boy, fresh off the press.
No.
CNN breaking news. CNN breaking news.
I feel good, man. I'm I can tell you this: I'm less scared this on the second time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The first time I was panicking because
Right.
I went from 0 to 2.
Right.
So I was
hard. Man,
I was
that's-
scared as a motherfucker.
How was that, man? Like knowing you got, parent for the first time of 2.
I was scared
Twins,
shitless. I was scared shitless, and I was trying to do everything in my power. And I think this is where I fucked up. I was trying to do everything in my power for her not to have those kids. Wow. I was doing because I was like, listen, I ain't got my shit ain't together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My shit ain't together, so there's no way I could be a father of 2, and I'm just going from 0 to 2. I can't do it. Like
Right.
no. Let's abort mission. Abort.
Man, listen. Having kids is like pledging. You're never ready for that shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You can never be
I was just about
ready.
to say that.
It's something that you can't even prepare yourself for. Like I used to think, like, man, like I need to have this amount of money and I need to be working this kind of job. And
You'll figure that shit out. Once that baby get here,
it don't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking
You'll
matter.
figure that shit out.
Let me save a little bit, Let me save during these 9 months. Put some bread
but
back.
you know what?
Never be ready.
But you know what? You know, one thing I've learned, I have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, right? One thing you learn is as they grow up, like really parenting is like a trial and error, right? But as they get older, you have to do things differently. You have to change up. Ain't never really a right and wrong. There is ways I look at how I was grew up, that I implement in him. Be it having a son, be my firstborn, and having him grow to be a man, giving him responsibility, doing X, Y, Z. But as they get older, you have to do things differently. You know what I mean? Because now he understands a whole lot of everything. Even with my daughter, like she picks up on a whole lot of stuff. So you have to, as you start to parent, you have to change up. You know what I mean? So you can't do the same stuff they was doing when they was 2 and 3 years old. You know what I mean? So now they're aware of a lot of things. I had to talk to my son about a lot of stuff. I mean, having a conversation with him about gay and sex, and I had to do all this shit already.
You already had to talk with him?
Yeah. So I had to do that. I had to do that now. Well, because here's the thing, right? So even in 4th grade, so check this out. In 4th grade, right, they have this thing, because he's in 5th grade, they go to intermediate school, right? So they have this thing called Boys Huddle, where, people come in, kind of tell them about themselves. But, he come to me, and say, hey, I said, look, we'll have that conversation. So we had the conversation. Hey, where I come from, we had to go, we went all out. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy at 10 years old that I have to have a conversation with him like that. But I'd rather him. But what good thing about it is I'm big on communication. Son, I don't care if you're in trouble, whatever it is, then you need to come let me know. If you tell me too late, ain't nothing we can do. We can talk through it. So having open communication, being transparent on a lot of things, because he asks questions about everything. Ain't nothing he can get by him. Hey, what's going on? Like, why is this? Why is that? So, hey, you can't hide a lot of stuff from these kids today because they got social media. Yeah. You got all this different stuff. Even if they don't see it and have their own phones, they got friends now. They got phones. A lot of stuff is open. So now you really have to be more transparent. And good thing I have is I don't hide anything from him. You know what I mean? So if he has, I tell him, look, if you want to have a conversation, even about, growing up, hey, well, Dad, I don't want to grow up right now. Well, I'll wake up like this. I'll never forget when he was when he was a kid. He was saying like, look, he woke up, his thing was like, oh, it won't go down.
I was hoping that you told this story.
Right. So,
He came to you and said, look, it won't go down.
It won't go down. So,
Daddy, it won't go down.
I don't know nothing.
But it's fun. But it's funny though growing up with a son, and like I said, it wasn't no privacy. I've been a wrestler, used a wrestler. This was funny when he was little. He busting in the door. Why my pee-pee ain't that big? I want one like that. And I ain't trying to. He was like, I want one now. I'm like, damn, I can't even pee and pee. But it's funny, growing up now, growing up stuff, So I mean, it's funny that when you have a son, and then even when you have a daughter. So it's funny, having to go through that, have those conversations.
I want one now,
right? He said, I want one now. I said, son, when you grow up, it'll grow, but I want one now. He had this like 2-3 year old. So I mean, it's funny seeing that, right? And because my dad wasn't around, now we've reestablished our relationship or whatever. Everybody know my situation about my dad and stuff, right? But we reestablished a relationship. He'd been in prison pretty much all my life for the most part. I got out in high school, and then He got out again probably about 4. He's been out about 4 or 5 years. So what's been important to me is I see him and the relationship he has with my kids. You know, he didn't have that with me, but it's important to me because I didn't have a grandfather. They were all, you know, deceased before I, you know, so to see him, and I think that kind of brings him joy because he didn't get the chance to see, you know, a chance to see me grow up like that. So he makes sure he keeps that relationship with them. You know what I mean? I know Walt with his dad and his son, and, you know, kind of feel the same way. We have the same perspective on that, right? So being able to reestablish their relationship and see them, you know, and I think that brings him probably joy because he didn't get that shot with me. You know what I mean? But he gets a chance to relive that all over again. You know what I mean?
Grandkids give him a chance to make it right.
Make it right.
Now,
The Kevin Hart documentary all over.
Listen, dog. I cried through the whole third episode.
The Kevin Hart.
Bruh. I nigga when you know my dad was. You know, I was fresh off the funeral probably around this time.
Right.
So I was still emotional, bro. I cried through the whole episode of his father meeting his grandson for the first time and him playing with him, bro. It was way too emotional for me, dog. Nigga, Ace came in the room and he was like, he gave me a kiss. He said, "It's gonna be okay, Daddy." I was like,
that's your baby. That's your baby, man.
It was a lot.
And I know, J. Mark, you have a daughter, boy. Them daughters gonna be the ones that gonna take care of you, boy. Man, my daughter, she is, you know, them be the ones that's gonna be there, you know, at that little age, boy. They love they daddies. You know what I mean? So them be the ones that's gonna be there and daddy, you know, because we weak when it comes to them. Just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? We weak when them daughters. We weak when it comes to them. So my wife, she get mad. You know what I'm saying? When I was like, look, they into it all the time. I think it's just a woman thing. You know,
that ain't gonna never stop.
They into it. I'm like, and then they come like, look, hey, you know. And then she come to me, oh, daddy, and I'm like, well, shoot,
because they know you.
Right,
They know you not gonna.
You already know what I'm gonna do.
You the man. You not gonna.
My son, she's like, when you in Atlanta, you like this, but yeah, he know how to jack his ass. But it's different because he's a man. He needs to know how to. You know what I'm saying? He know how to jack him up and you know get with him. But you know. You know, so she'll try to threaten. Here's the thing: I ain't never spanked my daughter, right? I get with her. All I got to do is threaten her. Like, let me get my bed. No, daddy, no. You would think I already had whooped her before and everything, but she just, no. So all I got to do is say, I get my bed. Okay, no, okay. But she's also seen me get with my son. She's like, oh, shit, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I don't want that. Like, I done got him, you know, and now with him, I'll jack him. Everybody's like, man, Lanny don't do nothing. Like, no, he'll try. They'll try you. Yeah, he'll try to test you.
That's why I'm glad I had a boy first.
Yeah. Right, hey, and you know what? And I think that was on purpose of us because of the issues and that. You know, I prayed for that. You know what I mean? And I think because of the issues that we had, you know, with our father, I think, you know, the Lord knew, like, you know what? Here's your chance to put your imprint, you know, to do the right thing and raise them like you wasn't raised. You know what I mean?
I don't care what nobody say, dog. I don't care how much a man say he hate his father or his father ain't never been around. He ain't never met us.
That's just hurt, man.
You hate that nigga because you love him.
Exactly. It's just hurt. It's just hurt. It's just hurt.
That's all it is to it, dog. Because there's nothing like
a father's love.
Father's love. You looking for the validation.
All of that.
You looking for everything from him. You
Keep
growing
going.
up wanting to be like him, talk like him, walk like him, and you are upset and you hate him because you love him.
Right. Can I add to that point though? One of the things, like, because my with my father, he's been passed away for 10 years now, and I still wrestle with it still to this day. So be advised, Walt. That's still it come with the territory, and you never really just get over. You just learn how to manage it, right? The thing about it is that I tell people all the time is like I didn't have those unfortunate horror stories about their father not being there. I had the stories of my dad being there. Like, I didn't have to ask my dad, hey, can you come to practice? He was like, hey, what time do I need to be there? Or what time is the game? And he was just there. There's been times, you know, when you play football, you went far out and away and there'll be only like 2 parents in the stand. My dad would be one of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, like he would be there. You know what I mean? I didn't have to ask him to do that. I didn't have to ask him to be at football practice fresh off of work with a shirt and tie on, and he just standing out there in the hot 90-degree sun out there just watching us practice. And all I have to do is just look up and I see him there.
See, and I got the opposite.
Right.
So that's indescribable. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I got a chance to meet his dad, man. His dad, you know, his dad was a big guy, boy. His dad, and he
big old
played
teddy
though.
bear.
He played.
Yeah, he was a big old teddy bear.
Yeah, man. But you know.
He wasn't no Mr. Hernandez.
No.
He'll slap the gay out you.
He was a big guy, but
the bag it out there is what
you know
they
what?
say. That's
he
what
ain't play
they
about his
said.
son. He ain't play about his granddaughter. So
But
you know, that's one thing about
Listen,
it.
they always be talking about females having daddy issues. Nigga, no.
No,
nigga, men be having daddy
yeah.
issues,
Right,
nigga.
right.
Well, can I say this?
Straight
I
up.
was at a few months ago. I had a business meeting, and I promise y'all this. I'm no lie. Y'all probably done ran into this, so forgive me if I'm saying something that's repetitive. But I literally had to help out a young man that was 29 years old, tie. 29 years old, tie. 29 years old, tie.
Hey, on the cool, Zay, guess what?
Yes, sir.
I had to teach my own self how to tie.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? So check this. Even though I had a stepdad, but you know, our relationship is better now.
Respect,
you know what I mean?
right. Yeah,
So let
yeah.
me tell you how I learned how to tie a tie. I might have been in middle school. They had this program where they were showing you the time I know how to tie a tie was on my knee.
Yeah.
I tied. They had the little booklet where you tied or whatever. But my stepdad never
sound
took the
hard.
time.
On your knee, hell yeah, that sound hard as
That
hell.
shit, no, you know what, bro? You know exactly. But that shit, you know what? Still to this
your
day.
knee.
I heard of. I ain't
But
never
you know
seen
what?
it done.
You know what? But you know what?
I never
This
seen it
shit,
done.
I mean, still to this day, I do it at times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do both. But sometimes that's the way I learned. Yeah. So that's the way I learned. I tied up. You know, I can do it both ways, but you know, that's the way I learned. I learned to tie. I tied on my. The shit was. I mean, it was easy for me then because that's the way I learned. You know, everybody else.
Right.
And so even I can tie. You know, I can tie it in the mirror and tie it on top. But it's funny. I can still tie it on my, knee just as fast as I can tie it probably, you know what I'm saying, around my neck in the mirror. You know what I mean? So what's great, that's how I learned. I never forget, they had this booklet, you know what I mean? But my stepdad, he never took the time to do none of that. You know what I mean? So I think with him, we really never had that relationship. You know what I mean? Now it's gotten better as I got older. You know, we was kind of connected more, but we really never had that relationship. You know what I mean?
See, and
that's why I was going to say, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Donte, but that's why I was saying my point in saying that, using that as an example, is like, it's the little things like of that what a lot of these men need to see and need to know how to do. We're not taught that like the previous generation, like tying the tie, how to change your oil, how to check to make sure that your oil is right on your car, how to change a tire. You know what I mean? Right. Like some of us don't know how to do it.
See, a lot,
and that's why I got to give kudos to moms, because my mom, she always made sure like the shit that she couldn't teach me. Yeah. It was a man around that was gonna show me. Right. I learned how to tie the tie when I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? She put me like. And I don't know if y'all know, but I grew up Jehovah's Witness. Right. So
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
He was going around door to door.
Yeah, nigga, that shit was fun.
Damn, I did not know that.
It was fun.
That shit was fun as fuck back then.
I did not know that. I didn't know that.
Like, I want to knock. Let me knock. Like,
you gonna knock on my door on Saturday?
Yeah, that's the shit I used to do. Like, no, let me knock. Let me get this door. Like, we used to run to the door. Like, who can knock first?
You been in that shirt and that tie.
Hell yeah. But
that's what's up.
But after one of those,
new about you,
after one of those little meetings, it was after the meeting, it was a guy in the parking lot.
That down, right?
Fuck it, it is
that's
what it
his line name,
is. It is. But it was
you heard it here first.
It was a man that was in the little congregation that he took, like all the people, like it was in junior high and all the little boys. He took us out to the parking lot and was showing everybody how to tie a tie. And all these other dudes that was older than me, they was learning for the first time. And I felt like I was ahead of the curve because I was only like 10 years old, but I'm learning how to tie a tie early. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and and for everything, I didn't realize, let me tell you, I didn't realize that my dad wasn't around. Like I really needed that until I was in college. Wow. Matter of fact, when one of my line brothers, Haywood, when his father passed, that's when I realized, like, damn, where my daddy been all this time?
Right.
That's when it clicked to me, like, damn, my dad ain't been around all these many years because Haywood was going through.
How old were you when Haywood?
It had to been like 21, 22.
But you know what, man? Wow. You know what? Yeah. Like you said, kudos to the moms. Our moms, we have very strong moms, you know what I mean, that's been there because they have to really step in for both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my mom was hard as fuck on me. Like, when I say she was hard, like, boy, she would jack me up. Then the mouth had bracing one time. I mean, so I always had that fear of her. But she, because, I had people growing up like, hey, you're going to be just like your dad. You know what I'm saying? My dad was in the streets, drug dealing stuff. You had people that tell me that. So that's why, with me going to college and doing stuff, I was one of the first generations to graduate from college. And, and then my mom later went back and got her degree and things. And, helped my sister get hers. But, like, I was the first, really, in my family. Everybody else, they go to high school, and they would even barely graduate from high school. Like, my cousin, the same age as me now. Like, we grew up together, man. But, a lot of them, all my cousins, all my first cousins, bruh, they didn't even
went-
finish like middle school.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
This
So-
brings me back to what I was saying. I don't understand how niggas like me, you, I don't understand how we don't grow up to be great fathers, because we knew what it was like
Yeah.
to not have a man there in our lives. Like, I don't understand how a man goes through all of that in his life and still
then you and go the same
doesn't-
route. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like,
don't get
But
that.
it's like-
I don't get it.
But when you look at it, when I step back from it, it's like you only can teach what you know. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, but you
You can only
also
teach what you
but
know.
that also
had strong moms
that
too,
also
Walt.
that's true too.
Yeah, that's what it
also
is.
draws you in more, bro, to let them know that, you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't want my child to go through this.
That kind of pain.
I would never want my
Yeah.
child to wake up and have to wonder about how much I love him. And nigga, every night before I go to sleep, I tell my son, "You my best friend. I love you."
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I tell him that. Even at nap time, nigga, I tell him, like, man, when we say our prayers, get in the bed, I tell him, man, you my best friend.
Right.
I love you. And he doesn't really understand. He says, I love you too now, but he
they'll
doesn't
get it.
really
Oh, he'll get
understand.
it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying now? But like when he gets older, he's gonna realize, like, man, like my dad really, really loves me. Like,
Yeah.
and that's all you can ask for, dog. Like, how can you not? You know what I'm saying? When you missing that void in your life, nigga, for 40 some years, like, how can you not want that? You know what I'm saying? Like that
Right.
that shit baffles me, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, shit.
The only the one thing I can say that I know through life, you know, when you have it, when your parents like all of us are, the best thing that we can do is be an outward example to the other cats that came from that type of environment of, like, you know, being in the single parent household. They know what the struggle is, but then, you know, one thing that, you know, that's always a good thing is when you have a coworker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a family, I want a son. You know what I mean? I want to be a father. You know what I mean? Just continue being that example, because believe it or not, when you're a parent, when you're in a relationship, you know what I mean? People are paying attention to you and they taking notes. Like, man, dude, I want that. I want this. I want that. You know what I mean? So that's the best way to be. That's the only way I feel that we'll be able to really kill the cycle, is continue being the example. Because the reality of it is, you know, the horror stories is what gets put out there on mainstream. But these good stories like this, you know what I mean? You know, regrettably, it'll be until someone makes it mainstream, it'll always be a part of this quote unquote underground market. You know what I mean?
And I think that's another reason why, you know, because I coach a lot of my son's sports, and I get a chance to see, because I was that single parent that, you know, coach. Like, I go pick up, you know, a lot of kids up, and they wonder why, like, man, you know, it's a lot of single moms out there with kids that, you know, as coaches, you know, we're their mentors. We're like father figures to them. You know what I mean? So they go deeper than football, basketball, these other sports. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, I have a kid now that has been playing basketball with me for the last 4 years, and football for the last 3 years. But, you know, his mom, you know, his dad is probably about,
He old?
he old, but he got like about 12, 13 kids. You know what I mean? But so, you know, I took a liking to the kid. You know, he's one of them kids that's out the hood. You know what I'm saying? Kind of reminded me of myself. That's kind of how I grew up. You know, I just remember telling my mom when I was 6, you know, I wanted to play that. That was football. You know what I mean? So I had coaches that used to come get me, pick me up. You know what I'm saying? My cousins, we used to go take us to practice. And, you know, I think it's another reason why I coach too, because I teach the old school fundamentals and just, you know, getting the kids and establishing a real relationship. Yeah. So everybody that know me and I'm out there, I'm out there with the coach, you know, so I'm a coach, but, you know, we're going to have fun. We're going to chat. We're going to do, you know what I'm saying? Do all the stuff that makes everything fun too. Right. You know what I mean? So, and then I'm the coach that's going to come pick you up. Hey, what you need? You know, this kid here, you know, man, he was just one of them kids with just raw talent, and just, you know, you can tell that he wouldn't come to practice a lot, but his dad's like, man, I just, you know, I got all these kids and I can't pick them up or whatever. So I was like, man, and the kid would be in the game and sliding across the floor like he was playing in socks, because his shoes was just, and had no traction on the bottom. And so, you know, before I was like, look, hey man, you mind if I, you know, get us some shoes? So ever since then, this was probably about 5 years ago, man. The kid was young, and, you know, he's still with me now. He like damn near like my other son. So I do for him, you know, shoes. We had a game today, so it's one of them kids where it's like, man, it's like, you know, he like an extension of my family, and, you know, he's like another son. But, you know, just, you know, his dad even thanks me. You know, his dad, you know, like, it's funny, like his dad has so many kids. I want to go get his birth certificate. Man, it took him about 45 minutes to find that. He went through all these kids, man. He was going through, oh no, that ain't his. Hold on, let me go over here.
Damn.
And I bullshit you not. And I'm having like, damn,
This
sit up here.
nigga-
So
Man, that's crazy.
but his mom, I go pick him up. He stays in some little low income apartments or whatever, and I think sometimes I don't think he realizes, and I think he probably started to see it now. Like, look, we had a conversation before. Like, look, I don't have to do what I do. I do it because I want to, right? You know what I mean? So he's one of them kids that they grew up like I grew up. Now you got kids in the house playing video games all the time. He outside. You got kids probably picking on him. He a little guy, but he is raw talent. Football, basketball, the fastest guy out there. But you got kids, in the hood, you're gonna get challenged. You know what I mean? So his whole perspective out there, sometimes it, because of his environment, it starts to click in. So I have to talk to him because, that's what he's used to. He's a little guy, so he got that little man, like feisty, he always getting challenged, he ready to fight every minute, you know what I'm saying? But I get all that, you know what I mean? I get it. And so I understand him, but at the same time, it's having him understand, like, look, hey, this ain't the way, man. I get where you're coming from. You know what I mean? The environment that you in, you have to kind of,
be strong.
You got to be like that. You can't show weakness. You can't do this, and it's different. Most of the kids we got, they all suburb kids, right? So they like, man, they ain't used to that. You know
Who
what
is
I'm saying?
this dude?
Right? Because even with my son, I go to Memphis and show him where I grew up at, and kind of know, he don't really know the whole story about my dad, but that's coming. You know what I mean?
Already,
kind of way, and that's one reason why I told my dad at 2 years old, I took him to go see my dad in Kentucky when he was locked up in federal whatever. I said, look, this is my last time, until you get out. And then he got out like 3 years later when he was 5, because I'm not going to be lying and doing all this stuff. So when to go see him then, his memory, we still have pictures up, but he still, he asked the question, it's funny, a couple of years ago, like, Papa, why ain't got no baby pictures with you or whatever? I said, I told you, boy, hey, these questions coming. Right, so his wife kind of comes but my thing is,
that's
man, the biggest advice I can give, like, be transparent with your kids. You know what I mean? So it's gonna come to the point we're gonna have that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here's where you come from. Here's how your papa was. I know you look at him as this and that, but I don't want to tarnish that. What they have now. But I think we're gonna have to sit down as they get older and kind of understand better. We're gonna have that conversation. Like, hey, this is kind of where he came from and kind of what what's been happening. So try not to hide stuff as they get older. You can start to give information as they start to understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I say parenting is kind of like it's a trial and error. And as they get older, you have to change. What I find myself doing, I have to change up on the different things I do. I can't do the same shit I was doing when I was 1 and 2, or 3 and 4. So as they get older, as life becomes more transparent to them, then you got to be straight up. You don't want to. You the last person want to be sitting there kind of lying and kind of sugarcoating shit like, son, this is kind of how it is. I grew up, and then they'll get more inquisitive. So the biggest part is to keep that communication open. So no matter what's going on in life, they know they can come to either both parents or one or the other. Like, look, son, he might not, his mama might not understand the shit that I might, being a male, you know what I mean? Because I know I done been through just like, hey, when you start to, get older, well, I started to get, hair on my balls and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The questions I had, the questions that you have, and, hey,
the conversation with mama, man.
all the different things, you know what I'm saying? So, you want to keep all that open. So that's that relationship and that bond between y'all, you know what I mean? So
one of the things, just like you said, like when your child gets older, you start have to change the things up. I remember when my daughter was in the 5th grade, that's when I started taking her out on dates. I started taking my daughter out on dates because I felt like at that point, because she was so inquisitive and she retained. I mean, my daughter was in 4th grade doing PowerPoints. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? Okay, it's time. I started taking her out on dates, and I did that for like 3 years straight. We got some more that's coming up here real soon that I'm gonna start doing back with her again, because reason why I did that and saying that is that I wanted her to get a full understanding on this is how a man is supposed to treat you when you go out on a date. So I trained her early, like when she started walking, that when you come to a restaurant door or any public door, you stand off to the side, and if a man is walking with you, he pulls the door open for you. I start teaching her that early, pulling out the chair, all of that stuff. She remembers all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's from my standpoint, as my perspective from a father when it comes to raising a daughter. What is some of y'all's perspective when it comes to a son dating and teaching him about dating? What's y'all perspective?
So
on
even
that?
now, right? So my son, like, he knows to open doors up. We open doors. We do all this. I mean, just some of the things that he sees me too. Because, at the end of the day, your kids watch everything you do, bro. They want to be just like you was his son, daughter, whatever it is. So they're gonna watch that relationship between you and whether you have a wife, or whether your mom, with her mom or interaction. They watch all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't think, especially my son, he see what I'm doing. They knows it. You get to the point where I be on the phone talking like, boy, get out of my business. It's grown folk business.
Let me ask you a question. And this is something I seen one of my Facebook people when it comes to relationships, right? How would y'all like y'all woman to love y'all? This was a question from a woman. How would you like your woman to love you? You know what I'm saying? And it was so easy, but it was so complex at the same time. But because it was like that was a good question. I'm like, shit, I don't know.
That's a good question. You know what? So it's all, everybody is different, right? Everybody has come from like I come from where I got strong women, So I'm a loving person. You know what I mean? Because I'm touchy feely, lovey because I come from a lot of love. You know what I mean? So a lot of women, a lot of love. So I think it just depends on kind of when you got two different people from two different sides, but you have to cater to whatever caters to you. And then for me, like I'm the man. Look, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take care of the kid. I'm gonna take care of a lot of shit. So I just need you to be. I need some attention. I need some time. I need some background. I need you to take. Right. I need you to take some time to understand or appreciate what I'm doing. Not to say, you know what, just to give me a pat on the back. But look, I'm doing this in effort for us, right? So I think it's a simple stuff. It's the little things for me. You know what I mean? Like when I first met my wife, right? It was a simple thing. I was out there dating, and I would meet women, and they'll kind of see what you got, and kind of, I'm the type that I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna make you laugh and do all that. But they kind of, before I can get to know them, they already failed and everything else. But it was a little stuff. Hey, she would come over like, hey, I noticed you didn't have any, dishwashing liquid, or hey, little shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like you paying attention. So I need to pay the little shit like that. When it was going out to restaurants and stuff. Hey, I'm used to paying. That ain't no big deal. I got you. Right. But she was like, no, hold on. Like, no, I got you. Like, let me know you can hold your own. But at the same time, I need you to pay attention to detail. Also, when it comes to in the bedroom and everything else. You know what I mean? Just pay some. Hey, look. I'ma hold it down. Like the shit I'm doing, I should, you should
some nasty freaky shit.
You should want to give me some head. You know what I'm saying? You should want to wake up and do. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that I do.
Sloppy head.
Like, right. You should want to be like, God damn.
Now it's getting real.
Get a Tiana Trump.
I think a lot of times, but a lot of times as like, a lot of times I learn too. Like as life goes on, sometimes you can't get into just a routine or what people take you for granted. Where like, what? Oh, that's kind of what he do. But no, I think sometimes you gotta hit that reset button. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like don't take this for granted because shit, life without me or without it could be a whole lot different. Right. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta hit that reset button to understand like shit. Ain't too many dudes out there like us. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's gonna do this, gonna hold it down, that's gonna do this. Like my wife had gotten so spoiled to the point where like shit, she don't pump her own gas. So she had to say like shit, I had to pump my own gas. Like you know how many motherfuckers.
You know how many women pumping their own gas?
Offended, like shit. Like how many motherfuckers got to pump their gas every day? But again, it's just one of those things. It wasn't because it's just something that I did, right?
Yeah,
so, you know what I mean? Like what? I don't want you out late pumping. You know what I'm saying? Out there pumping gas, do whatever. So shit, had a schedule. Every Wednesday, I know she drives far or whatever, and I work from home, so my schedule is a lot more flexible. You know what I mean? I try to make sure I hold it down. Even now, I'm trying to make sure. Cook more. I know you be tired to do XYZ, but hey, I just want the little shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, come show me some attention. Come, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So,
what about you, Walt? What about you?
Man, I'm very simple, dog. I don't really require too much. I mean,
that's a lie, Walt. That's a lie.
We say that.
That's a lie, Walt.
Okay, but it's the simple things that a lot of people leave out.
Yeah. That is a lie.
That is a lie.
Yeah.
But it's not far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? When I say that, me and Reggie are very alike. Because one, we have the same job.
Okay.
We work at the same place.
So we can kind of understand
and we understand each other. So our flexibility and to do the things that we do with our kids allow us to do a lot more for our kids than the average father.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we're able to do a lot more than what a normal dad would do because we work from home. Right.
Okay.
So when I say I don't require a lot, like it means more so like It means more so like I just want like you said, I just want the simple shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure I'm feeling appreciated because I'm gonna take care of everything, dog.
Right.
Like I'm gonna pay the bills. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna take care of the kids. But at the same time, I just want a little meal here and there.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the main thing.
The main thing.
I think that's the main thing, especially when a man is doing so much, and a lot of niggas are doing nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think it gets kind of redundant for the women that it becomes routine for them. Like you're already doing this.
I don't think they realize how much you do.
I don't. Exactly. So you need that affirmation that you know what I'm saying. Like nigga, I'm doing a whole lot.
And I see you, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like because when I say I say I'm simple, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a straightforward ass nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to be in the trenches with me.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just want you to, me and you, we gonna ride together, we gonna die together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we in this together, so I just want us to feel like that we on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need you to go out and buy me shit. I don't ask for nothing.
That's it. That's same with me.
I don't ask you for nothing. You don't have to go out and buy. But that's one thing about my wife, man. She'll go out and she'll try to get me something, and knowing I never asked for anything, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like one of those things, man. I'm just kind of like the nigga, man, who I'm a provider.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what happens in my life. And that's one thing I've always been scared of, is to not be able to provide for my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as long as I'm able to do that,
then you good.
I'm really okay.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need too much else. You know what I'm saying? Like he said,
because seeing them happy makes you happy. You know,
right.
being able to do that, and see.
Exactly.
A lot of time the sacrifice, and then the kids, even though they might not, Ace might not see it now, he'll see it later. My kids starting to see it now. And I always tell my son, like, and we hadn't done this in a while, but I took him down to, it was probably about 3 years ago. I took him down to the homeless shelter. One Christmas, we went and did, I went and bought probably 100 boxes, maybe about 100 boxes of meals from Jason Deli. And they gave it to us about $5 a box, right? So we just went down to the homeless part. As a matter of fact, in Fort Worth, right down where the homeless broke downtown, where all the homeless shelters are.
Yeah.
Yeah, right around that way. Yeah, so we just set up. I mean, shit, we went to set up. I took my mom, sister, my nephew, my daughter, and my son. And we went down there and set up, man. I'll just, let them know, like, look, everybody ain't as fortunate. It was homeless kids out there, you know what I mean? So I was like, look, everybody ain't as fortunate, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that, showing them, like, look, I knew how I grew up. I showed them how I grew up and where I grew up from. He was like, man, like, look, everybody ain't as fortunate, but I need you to be appreciative, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that different stuff like that, man. So
I think that's the most important thing, man, to make your man feel like what he's doing is worth it.
It's appreciated.
Right. It's appreciated. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a big part. That's big. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you see all these women out here struggling financially and things like that. And we've been put in blessed positions where we don't have that. You know what I'm saying? And so we have partners that's gonna be there, and we provide for the most part. You know what I mean? Everything. And so I think a lot of times, like I said, sometimes you got to hit that reset button. To understand, in case, being married, I've been married, 11 years, going on 12 this year. Sometimes you have to hit that reset button, man, to kind of understand, like, look.
I've had to have the conversation with my wife, like, after my son was born, right? She was, thought that she was going to get, like, a whole year off from when she was pregnant. And that 6-month mark come, I'm like.
Yeah. Time for you to tap in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's time for you to tap in. You know what I'm saying? Like, the normal woman doesn't get 6 months off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you've been blessed to do this. It's time to go. I mean, we've had to have conversations like that. And it's not that she wasn't, she was a first time mother.
Right.
So they want as much time with the baby as they can. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a transition for me, man. Like, literally, like, having a child, like, getting married wasn't the change for me. having a baby.
Yeah,
That was the fucking change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you are like you said, I'm simple, but I'm not simple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I require a lot, but not a lot. You know what I'm saying? She treated me like the baby. You know what I'm saying? So
Wham, Walt is the baby.
Walt is the baby. So it's kind of like, you know, I never had to clean, pick up nothing. Like literally, my wife did everything. When the baby came, nigga, I was cooking for her every day.
Absolutely.
I mean, literally, I was doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Then when my son got 6 to 8 months, I'm like, hey,
Right.
what's up?
Yeah.
Can a nigga get some spaghetti?
Hey, it's so much funny, man. We have so much similar, and I would tell Walt, we have so much similar story just because of our jobs and our nature and the stuff that we do. Because you know, our wives these get up and go to work, and so we'll have to take the kids, drop them off, pick them up because of the flexibility of our job. So I mean, that changed a lot. Again, it's one of those things where I'm grateful to be able to kind of be there because at the end of the day, regardless of material stuff and all that, man, the kids appreciate time. Because I still remember to this day, my dad only came to one football game.
My daddy ain't never come to none. He never seen me. Never seen me
one
play.
Football game. That's one of the
anything.
memories I got. One football game. You know what I mean? So it's you know, to be able to be there and know that, hey, you know what? I can say my dad was there.
Yeah.
In fact, my dad called it. Look at this shit.
Yeah.
He must know I'm talking about his ass.
Answer. See what he wants. Put him on speaker.
Juddy, what
up, dude?
What
Hold on.
Hey, man, we live on a podcast. I was just talking about you, so I just said he must know I'm talking about him.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, you live right now. You live on a podcast right now. You live.
Okay, what's going on, world? It's our LP Senior.
Oh, boy, get
Yeah, my friend.
That's what's up.
You say what?
Juddy,
So, yeah, what about you, J. Mark? What's up?
What do you require?
I can't. Well, I can only piggyback on
I'ma call
you know
you.
what I'm
We
saying
doing
what they
this
said.
podcast.
But
Okay.
my situation.
So yeah, before Walt knocked the goddamn plugs out the wall, I was saying.
Beating down the block, knocking plugs.
My bad.
So Juddy, you was about to say how could a woman love you better or love you more?
I've never been married before or whatever, but me and my baby mother have been talking for it's gonna be crazy. Going on 11 years.
Yeah, bro, you
Shit.
are
All
what
right.
you call
You sound like me, nigga.
Hey, boy, you,
Without the baby mother.
And surely now me in the situation I am, I'm I'm learning from it or whatever, but I require peace. You know what I'm saying? And peace is very complex.
Okay.
You know, as Reggie stated, the work that we do, you know what I'm saying, y'all don't understand what we go through as far as a job and being the youngest black man in the office, whatever per se. The only thing you see is the benefits and the money coming in. And
Right.
if you need me to cash app you $150, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you see.
Right.
Or whatever, but I don't require much. A meal every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We go out to eat. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, baby, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately,
sex.
I have to... And sex. That's a whole... You know, hey...
He nasty Juddy.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Need that. I need that on a consistent basis or whatever. But just a peace of mind. I'm not materialistic. I'm very frugal. Fortunately, I was able to get a job to where I can provide for my family, my daughter, my baby's mother, or whatever. But peace, man.
Peace.
That's it's a simple word. It's a simple gesture. Peace. I got everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for shit.
Right.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. You come in, the lights on. It's full of organic food in the refrigerator.
Not organic.
We doing
Organic,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Like we doing good. You good.
Yeah.
Don't come at me up sideways on some extra shit because of something that's done made you unhappy. Look, you don't have to do shit. And Walt has preached this to me for I don't know how many years. When we was living in the A, she was like, Juddy, make sure that's the one. But you know, I love her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I grew up with my mom and my dad, so I want that for my daughter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
Because if you try to force it, you stress yourself out to the max,
Right.
to where you die early,
Right.
or you can't function at work to be able to provide for your family.
True that.
You know, but at the end of the day, I just want peace.
Yeah.
That's it,
what's up.
ladies. Just give me peace. I'm 34. I live in Dallas.
Shot.
I go to Chili's, Applebee's. You know what I'm saying? Just give me some real shit. Give me a shot and shit. We gonna see where it goes.
Yeah, dude. I would go ahead and Lord Jesus.
Niggas say I live in Dallas and just want Chili's and Applebee's.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. So my perspective is a slight bit different, but yet on point. So I'm newly single myself. So I'm a single father and whatnot. But I would say one thing that I learned through my previous relationship, in which I was married. One thing I learned is that that when you are a husband or you are a wife, that you should be bilingual. What I mean is you should be able to speak English and you should be able to speak spouse. And so,
Come on, Pastor.
and so what I mean by that is that the way that I talk to my future wife, it has to be completely different than the way that I talk to anybody else. You know what I mean? And it should be a language that she understands me, and forthrightly she has to and I understand her. So to that point, I have future dreams, of course, of being a husband again. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, what do I require? I just require loyalty. And I'll be honest with you, inspiration. You know what I mean? Because reason why those are two things that are big for me. Because for me, I'm a motivator. So if you're my wife or you're my girlfriend, if I see you down, I pick up on stuff. So I'm gonna naturally be able to motivate you. I know what to say in a positive way to go ahead and pick you back up. Now, because I know I have a strong man mentality and I'm a strong man myself, every once in a while, a strong man, all of us, we get weak. So sometimes if you see that I'm weak, hey, give me that little pep. If you see I'm stressing out about the promotion coming up, about this project that I'm working on, be able to talk my language, spouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be able to talk spouse to me, and where like, okay, if I say this to Reggie, Walt, Juddy, Hosea, bam. You know what I mean? We now I know that's gonna get them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things for me. I'm very big on this, like loyalty and just inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty, where like, look, if I have your loyalty, trust me, you gonna have mine. I ain't gonna see nobody else. You can have the last 100 Miss Black Americas in a room butt naked. If you got my loyalty, I ain't gonna touch now one of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man.
I just might.
That's it.
He said he just might, but that's my thing. So,
Juddy said,
right,
Juddy, listen.
but that's my take on it. My name is Hosea Robinson. I live in Fort Worth, Texas.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Tapping in with
Hey
me.
man, this was a great
before-
podcast. Hey man, before we go, man.
Shout out to the real fathers out there, man.
Yeah, shout out to
Happy
the real
Father's
fathers.
Day.
Before we go, man.
Happy birthday, dog.
I just want to say, man, happy motherfucking birthday to Donte. You know what I'm saying? You've come a long way, man, from that apartment on University Drive,
Yes,
teaching me how to crip walk.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
And
they don't even know where all the bodies are at, Donte.
And listening to Jagged Edge in your apartment out there. You remember that shit, huh? Hey man.
I promise.
Hey man. 40th is a blessing, dog. I want to
sir.
tell you I love you, man. Happy birthday, man. Shout out to your wife, man, for putting this
Appreciate
together,
it.
man, and having us all here
Barry, you
today,
did
man. You only getting better in this life, man. Your podcast is only getting better. We got 4 mics.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
I mean, we got video.
Yes.
I mean, I like to see the progression, man, that you've been putting in your craft, man. That
Appreciate
you've been really grinding, man. And I wish you nothing but like prosperity. I wish you nothing but the best, dog. You've been doing your thing, man.
Appreciate it,
and
man.
man, good luck, man, to the sleepless nights that are in your very near future, man. Just want to tell you, man, I love you, man.
Appreciate
From all
it.
of us, man, to you, man. Happy motherfucking birthday, dog.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, one time for the 4-0, man.
Animal before we go. Animal.
Yo!
God damn it.
Yes, sir.
And that's how we go end this thing. Thank y'all for tapping in with us every week. Follow us on Instagram.